Good morning, friends. Welcome back to another wonderful day. Today, we have a brand new portal, and it is going to be the Insanity Portal, or the Shadow Summons. They have introduced a brand new character today, and my goodness, is Gwendoline something to behold, because this type of character is not something we see very often. We're going to spend probably a little extra time trying to dissect what's going on with this particular character, and hopefully you'll understand as we get into this why we need to do that. So let's start out at the very top and say she is the Druid class. This is going to give her a chance to make the little Thorn minions, which not necessarily the strongest class bonus, but will give her a little bit extra survivability. She is of the Investigator family, which gives her a bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes for plus 20% attack and health, plus 30% attack and health, or plus 40% attack and health, depending on how many investigators you stack. That is a nice boost. If you consider that even with one hero, you're getting a 20% boost to attack and health, those are going to be very useful stats and a very solid amount of them for one hero. So don't forget about that. She is completely lacking in the passives department, which is not particularly exciting. So let's just skip over that, and we'll go to her Aether Power of Revive. So if she dies in the first 4 turns of the battle, they are resurrected at the beginning of their next turn with 1% health. All status effects and everything are reduced. I don't know why it says 4. I would assume it's supposed to be the first 6, like everything else, but I guess this only says 4. So it's the first 4 turns we get the Revive Aether Power. Interesting stuff. All right, now down here into the specials department, we have Essence of Queen Nitoris. Uh, Operating at very slow speed, mind you, so it's going to take her a while to get this off. It's going to cleanse all status ailments from the caster and nearby allies. It's going to recover 70% health for the caster and nearby allies. The caster and nearby allies receive a moderate amount of mana over 6 turns, so nice mana buff for 6 turns, and it also inflicts 40 insanity on nearby allies. Okay. Then the caster turns into Yagmago for 6 turns. This effect can't be dispelled. Yagmago has 200% attack, 150% defense, and the following special skill. So, operating it very fast, you get Eternal Bond, which deals 300% damage to all enemies and inflicts 20 insanity on them. Revive a random defeated ally with 10% HP. Okay, so yeah, like that's why I said we don't really see a lot of characters like this. This is sort of a newer concept to the game. There are other characters that kind of change into something else, but like I think she does it in a slightly different way. She is operating it very slow, so understand that getting her up and going is going to take a while. I think clearly she's designed to operate within a tanking role so that she is taking as many tiles as possible to speed this along. Even after you convert her over to this Mago person. She's operating it very fast, but she's only in this form for 6 turns. So, at very fast, you still want this special to be going off at least twice, I'd assume, within that 6 turn frame. The easiest way to accomplish that is definitely going to be to have her in the tank spot. When she goes off, she's going to be dealing a very decent amount of damage. It does say 300% damage to all, but remember, she's operating at 200% attack. So let's do some quick math and explain how this matters. First, you have her family bonus, giving her an additional 20%. So yes, she's at 17, 18. However, you need to add another 340 to that for her family bonus. So that's going to put her at 2050 attack, period. She's got 2050 attack, just naturally. When she enters this Yagmago phase, she is going to be at 4100 attack. 4100 attack is then going to be applied to the 300% damage to all enemies. So understand that the percentage is low, but the base stat that it's going off of is quite high. And even 300% is not bad for very fast. Like, understand that, like, 300% at very fast is already pretty good. But on top of the massive attack stat in which she is going to possess in this form, this hit is going to be devastating, and it's going to inflict 20 insanity on the opponents, and it's going to revive a random defeated ally as well. I mean, honestly, this character is kind of what I'd like to see out of a very slow character. Is it is something that is going to drastically affect the board state if it actually goes off. So you want to make sure that this lady is dead before she has a chance to do this. Now, if it were me building this character, I would probably stack her defensively in her stats, knowing she gets all this additional attack boost. But I mean, you're welcome to build this character however you like. But to me, it just seems like the real goal is to make sure she stays alive long enough to turn into this other form and start wreaking havoc on the entire board state. Also worth noting, this character is the first strategic character for insanity that I've seen yet, which possibly makes her the most interesting, and I'll explain why. She is giving insanity to her nearby allies but not to herself. And this might be the first character who's done this. Why does this matter? Because if you have two characters in your team that are immune to insanity, any of your costumes for Untold One, any of your fawns, they are immune to insanity. If you stack them next to her, when she goes off, she's only giving insanity to the nearby. They're both immune. Then you are not stacking insanity on your side at all. Like, understand the importance of this. You can make this character's insanity debuff to your team a moot point if you have the right characters to pair with her. And this is possibly going to make her one of the strongest in this family because you can negate her negative effect in a pretty effective way. So because of that, I'm going to say that this character probably deserves a I'm gonna say an 8.5. I want to say 9. Like I think she's good enough that she could be a 9. Um, Especially if you have the right characters to pair with her. I'd say she's a 9 if you've got two insanity immune characters to put next to her. But if not, then she could end up getting fairly complicated for your team. So just understand that like this is definitely a game like a fight changing character. It just how she operates in actual gameplay is hard for me to predict because we don't see very many characters like this out there. So just understand that like I think she has the potential to be absolutely devastating if you have the right characters to pair with her, if you're able to get her off efficiently. Yes, I can't wait to see this girl in action. This is the type of character that gets me excited to play this game and see what new things they come out with. All right, so this video ran a little bit long, but mostly because this is a very complicated character to unravel. So I hope you have a wonderful morning, and we will talk to you again soon.